everybody, I'm super excited today. I'm talking with Craig Thompson from Emperor Cabinets. Emperor is a Chicago institution. I have so many cabinet building questions, but let's start off. Craig, tell me what makes an Emperor an Emperor?
Well, it's just as much the materials that we use as it is the process that we use to make them. We use a applied birch on the side panels of all our cabs. If you don't know anything about it, the layers are laid so that the grains face opposite directions. That's what gives it its strength. We had to sort of play around with different thicknesses of it as well as different configurations of the cabs and sizes themselves to come up with what sounds the best. If you look at this cab, this is the first one we ever made.
Oh my God, I'm in the presence of greatness. I love it.
Basically what happened with this one, as you can see, there's quite a bit of thickness happening there, and it just ended up being way too rigid. There's not a whole lot of flex going on with it, so it doesn't really do anything to contribute to what your speakers are doing. So that's why we don't make them this way anymore.
So like when the speakers are working, you want the cabinet to kind of
you want to have
compress?
Yeah, so it'll sort of accentuate the sound of the speakers.
Okay.
So yeah, and then on all the fronts of the cabs we make now, it's poplar. We use it because it's easy to work with. It takes stains well, and it matches the birch on the sides pretty closely. So that's why we use that on the fronts.
Oh, interesting.
And then moving on to our joints, we use
this is where the magic happens.
We use a full through dovetail on all of our joints. It's very strong. It locks together the panels so that the cab works together more as one piece of wood. You get more of a even resonance throughout the entire thing as opposed to, say, using like a butt joint or even a finger joint. If you notice here, we also use them on the front seams of our cabs. For the resonance factor as well as the aesthetic value. But its main function is, if you own one of our older cabs, you may have noticed the seam has cracked. This is designed to prevent that from happening.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically it for that.
So was there, when you guys first built like the first one, what was was it just a trial and error thing? Did you have something that it was based on?
There was a lot of trial and error. We used to work at a road case company out in the suburbs. So having access to the wood shop and knowledge of carpentry and playing in music, it is kind of just a natural evolution from that point to start doing this.
Yeah.
So we used to cut all the pieces and then take them on the train and put them all together in our living room. It was kind of ridiculous now that I think about it. You do what you got to do, you know.
So let's talk about some of the new designs you have.
So this is basically how all our cabs look now. This is our 112. This is basically all the guitar cabs. That's their look. Bass cabs, they all come like this. Basically the major differences between the two would be the ports, obviously. Bass speakers will push a lot more air than guitar speakers, so that's why generally you want to have ported cabs for that.
And so you used to do the round ports.
Yeah,
and
we used to do the
switch.
plastic ones, like the ones that you have, and then we switched to just putting hidden ports behind the grill. It's sort of a cleaner look that way. And then from there, it kind of evolved into this, which obviously looks way better. We also make them 3 inches deeper than the guitar cabs, just to sort of accentuate the lower end frequencies that you will need out of a bass cab. So that's really the only 2 major differences.
Okay.
As far as guitar and bass cab designs.
What designs are the most popular, like configurations?
This one right here, this 212. It's probably our most popular cab is that size right there.
Okay, 212 guitar.
For bass cabs, it would probably be the 115, this size, and there's also another 115 size. Those are probably
Okay.
the two most popular ones.
And then people stack them.
Yeah, I mean,
Depending.
that's another thing about our cabs is we try to make different sizes that are modular, so you can stack, a 115, 410, or there's also a 210, 212, and same thing with our guitar cabs.
Okay.
Go big or go home.
Yes. I love it.
So this is our 100-watt amplifier. Just a basic rundown. It's modeled after a JCM 800. Sort of the improvements that we made on it, or you can get a higher gain out of this. It also has more articulation, and it also has a deeper, stronger bass. We've also redesigned the low input to be more versatile. If you notice, maybe on some guitar amps, the low input is pretty much useless. So we sort of changed that so you can use them both and get different sounds
Oh, nice.
out of that. It comes with 4 EL34s and then 3 12 AX7s in the preamp section.
Nice.
So yeah, I was going to turn it on, crank it up.
Let's do it.
So that you get a little more cleaner sound out of that.
Okay, so the low is kind of for
Yeah, I mean, you
like a
can
little
still-
more.
Crank up the gain a little bit. You get a little more out of it, but obviously not as much as the high channel. This was kind of like what our recommended settings were.
So scooping mids a little bit, cranking the gain, presence all the way up.
Gain, presence, bass, more
The
bass,
JCM 800.
better gain. That was kind of our
Yeah.
end game. So I think mission accomplished.
Yeah, for sure. So these are up on the website
Yes.
right now. People can get them, and then you're just gonna be cranking them out.
Yep. It's also going to come with a case.
And then you can also get it custom finished to match
Yep.
your cab.
It's kind of our thing.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for talking with me and
No
sharing
problem.
all of your knowledge. I look forward to playing around with this some more.
Anytime.